Hey, this is Gareth and Bruce. This is our first attempt at a podcast.
We just don't know where it's gonna go. You got more of the gruff voice. I got more of the
Softer feminine voice.
screw you. Hey.
I don't know, I felt a little snobby when we hit 10 episodes.
Okay, that's an interesting question.
The two of us can be Vin Diesel. Gareth can drive like him. And I can
You
look
can
like
look
him.
Welcome to Spaghetti Junction. My name is Gareth,
My name is Bruce.
and we talk about things. We just don't know where they're gonna go.
Hello and welcome to the Spaghetti Junction podcast. My name is Bruce
My name's Gareth.
and we talk about things.
We just
Don't know where they're gonna go. Another one. Here we go.
Another one. Here we go. I just want to make it very clear, which most people will know if they listen to a lot of our podcasts. You don't do natural movies. It's like
No, I don't.
if you're not sure where it's gonna go,
No, then I'm never. Because
there's
I'm never
no
sure where it's gonna
it's
go.
Yeah, there's like no subtlety. It's either it's gonna happen or it's not.
I'm not known for my subtlety. So
Actually,
I
no,
think
you're not,
We
Bruce.
should just accept this.
Speaking
and
about
move on.
subtlety, at the previous episode got I used to say a few little interesting comments, and like in the actual section
Yeah, we actually had
and
comments.
outside the comment section.
Absolutely, yeah. That was cool. Thank you so much for the engagement. You know who you are.
I don't know if they were. I don't know if they were doing it because they were like, "I'm going to leave a comment because I agree with him."
But that's okay. Disagree, agree. It doesn't matter. Comments are welcome. Traction is welcome.
Yes, and I just want to make sure that they hatred. Just no. I did understand a lot of the stuff. There was an amount that I didn't totally agree with.
Oh, totally not. But
That's part about why we do what we do.
Yeah.
Because rather you be real than we're just gonna be a robotic version.
And here's a
of a
lesson.
podcast.
And here's a lesson in life, kids, for the modern era.
Yes.
It is possible for two people to disagree and actually still be friends.
That is true.
So there you go.
Thank you. So you were saying that there was a sad moment this
Oh
week
yeah,
for you.
shame. I had a little bit of a sad moment. We won't dwell on it, but
Bring it up, that's fine.
Yeah, shame. I was looking after my landlord's dog for about the last year. Landlord.
Oh, was it a year? Okay.
It's been about a year. Yeah, trying to get the dog over to the Netherlands, where my landlord has emigrated to.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, on Friday, we discovered that the dog actually needed to be put down. He was very, very sick. Came up as a very big shock.
What was wrong?
We discovered that he had cancer, lung cancer, possibly brought on by a brain tumor. Yeah, it was.
Wow.
It was serious, and it was very sudden.
I didn't know that there was like that intensity for an animal.
Yeah. So
Sure.
yeah,
Sorry,
it
dude.
was quite sad, and I was the one who had to take him to the vet and
bring it up
sign off on everything,
and phone the owner.
phone the owner,
I wouldn't have
and
dug that
all
at
that kind
all.
of thing. It was
Yeah.
a brutal.
I remember your voice message. You were like wrecked.
I was done.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry, pal.
But shame. He's in a better place. He was a lovely animal.
Where is
and
he? Where's the better place?
He's in doggy heaven. I really hope he's in doggy heaven because
Sorry. Let's stay with the tone and say yes, Bruce. There's doggy heaven.
I like to believe there's dog heaven.
You may, Bruce.
There's animal heaven.
But he's not. The point is that he's not in pain anymore, so that's good.
Yeah, he's not suffering, and it was
No.
Friday morning when I woke up. I could just see he was not good. So there we go. Anyway,
Rough. but fair enough.
Yeah.
I've been watching. No, I lie. I have watched all of Squid Game
and which I
Which
have
is-
not watched any of.
on Netflix, and it's a show that was it was actually the whole idea of it was years ago, and nobody saw it as a reasonable show to do.
Right.
And it was as I say, a few years ago, until it came to Netflix and they saw it and it was like, okay, this is actually something that we can use, and it moved on social media.
Right.
It went across social media. It became basically like and we've mentioned this before, but Oh yeah, a Bird Box. Which,
Okay.
which was, I mean, they're not the. God bless you, Bruce. What the heck is that in your glass? You're gonna spill it.
I know.
Don't spill.
I almost spilt my Pepsi.
Not a sponsor.
You can't spill Pepsi. That was
No, that would be a travesty.
that would have been
For all
embarrassing because
mankind.
now it was on camera as well. So.
I know. So maybe you should put it down. That was not called a product placement by you. Just to say that. So, anyways, it was it's a series on Netflix. It is from Korea, and the whole thing is basically around a bunch of children's games. Not the European children's games,
Right.
but games from a childhood in Korea.
Okay.
And you basically, but it has a twist. I'm not really going to mention too much because if I give away what happens,
Yeah, no, don't.
the first episode is basically screwed. The point being, it was not what I expected. It is brutal. In fact, most of the episodes, come with a warning of violence and suicide and assault, and I mean it's brutal, but it's fascinating, like how this little show has come to be such a big thing
Right.
across social media and the world.
Yeah.
It was, I'm not sure for how many weeks it was number one watched on Netflix.
Really, yeah.
But for example, here in South Africa, it's been the number watched show for a few weeks now.
Okay.
So I won't really say much about it, but it is basically it's children's games, but definitely not for children to play. Let me just leave it that way.
All right.
But it's very good. It's 9 episodes. I watched it non-dubbed.
Right. Okay. So subtitled.
Yeah, you I think you could go that route because then it's the more real experience of it.
Okay.
Anyways, and there was a part in it which we've spoken about. You actually brought up that Vans, the shoe company, made quite a bit of money off that, and I know that there were shoes in there. I just didn't see any form of label that said they were Vans.
Yeah. So apparently, what happened is that all the participants wear these white slip-on sneakers.
Yeah.
That were actually made by Vans, and
Which I don't think many people knew that.
we
though.
didn't know, but obviously
Supposedly.
people found out,
Yes.
and Vans stocks have shot through the roof.
The white
What was the percentage again?
slip-on Vans saw a 7,800% spike in sales since the show hit Netflix. And basically, and in a lot of the shoe retailers around the world, they sold out.
Needless to say, it was a good move.
Yes. I was just saying that I don't know if I would want to wear those shoes, because the majority of the time that you see those shoes, there's blood on them.
That's probably why.
And
they
they're
needed
worn
that.
around places where people die.
That's probably why they wanted that very stark, bright white color, possibly to.
Oh, no,
for that
absolutely.
to really highlight.
But then why would you as a person want to buy those shoes when you know where they came from?
Oh,
And there's an actual part, one of the episodes, where they actually removed their shoes for a certain reason.
yeah. Oh, okay.
So I would struggle to wear those shoes because I would just think of Squid Games and what actually happens in Squid Games,
Eef.
which, by the way, is very, very good.
Okay. Well, I'll have to check it
I'm
out.
not going to be buying those shoes. Just putting it out there.
Cool.
I don't want to buy those shoes. Before we hit our actual episode,
Yes.
which is we coming at from two different directions, but I wanted to just to kind of keep us aware of what's happening with Lauren Dickerson and Brian Houston.
Yes.
They had their like pre-courts, as in like where you put in your plea, basically. Lauren Dickerson's legal team, on her behalf, because she's still in the institution, she has pleaded not guilty.
Right. even though we know she did.
Well, obviously, yeah.
But
I think that what we were saying last time, that they're probably going in with not guilty due to insanity. I think that's where they're going with it. But basically, her plea was not guilty. That she's not guilty of that crime. Brian Houston obviously has also said not guilty. His court case is in November, so that one is actually going to be very interesting to see where it goes. Yeah, so watch the space.
Yeah.
We'll bring it up, and and we'll see where it goes from there.
Okay.
Yeah. So back to our whole topic about anti-vaxxers.
All right.
You'll see with us. I'm more emotionally invested than Bruce is.
I think we can definitely say that you're more emotionally invested. Sure. I think we're in agreement about the vaccine. I mean, we've both gotten it.
Absolutely.
But we are still, like you said, coming at. You've got two different sort of angles of this.
I am not going to be diplomatic about it. So if you are an anti-vaxxer, sit down. You're going for a bumpy ride.
You're welcome to comment. You're welcome to comment down below.
Yeah. Sorry. I think I'm not sorry.
No, you're not.
Not sorry. Not at all. So some guys will know where they came from.
Oh, look at that reference.
Anyways, yeah. Sorry, I don't have the energy to go down on their level and to have like a whole long discussion. And it's like, no, vaccine saves. Not vaccine probably will cause you a lot more pain, and you might not die from it, but So I wanted to bring in, like, from the beginning. There's a lady called Nolene Glasgow, which no one would have heard about her. I don't know who she is until I saw it was an interview on one of our TV stations.
Right.
And she's based in Cape Town, and she's like one of the big anti-vaxxers. Anti-vaxxer basically means someone who's anti the whole vaccination process. So yeah, I wanted to to like go through a section of her interview.
Okay, cool.
With the reporter. And by the way, that I could see with the reporter, he was like, if I was not a reporter right now, I would bust the cap in your ass right now because you're driving me mental. Yeah, so I just wanted to watch a few minutes of it.
Cool.
But guaranteed I'm going to be stopping like every few seconds just to
Okay. Awesome.
So enjoy the ride with us. We are trying something new.
Yes, we're doing some manual operations here, so
manual
let's see how we go.
Volumes and stuff, but you know what? Now that it's visual and we are getting a lot more traction, now we're going to be trying new things.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool, we're going to go for it.
We are going to go for it, son.
Awesome, let's do it.
Cool.
Ma'am,
Hi.
good day to you. Thank you for joining us.
May I? Okay, so first of all, I just want to point out that this vaccine is experimental. It has never been approved by any department because it cannot be approved because it's dangerous.
I watched this interview quite a few times, and I still laugh like a hooligan every single time. So the vaccine has been approved. Okay?
Right.
And I want to give you like an exact date if you want. But the Pfizer one, which is widely used.
Yes.
Is the Pfizer one.
Probably more widely used than
That's exactly.
Okay.
That was August the 23rd, 2021. The FDA, which is in America, which is like one of the major organizations. So, okay, hold on. So the FDA, basically, which is the Food and Drug Administration, okay, they are responsible for protecting the public health, okay, by ensuring the safety, efficacy, and security of human and veterinary drugs, biological products, and medical devices.
Right.
Okay, so they are big. In the world, they are well known. August 23rd, they approved the Pfizer vaccine.
Okay.
That's it.
It has never been approved by any department because it cannot be approved because it's dangerous. Children are being forced to get vaccinated.
You can jump in any time, dude. That is also a big fat lie. children under the age of 12 cannot receive the vaccine yet.
Yeah.
There are trials. But as of right now, children that she says are being forced like mindless sheep cannot get the vaccination under 12.
Yeah. Okay.
Over 12 are teenagers. So
Yeah.
if anybody says, well, the children are under 12.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying. Bogus. I'm just saying that right now.
People are getting blood clots, people are getting tremors, people are dying from this vaccine. The man Bill Gates, who's been running this whole thing from the beginning, he patented the vaccine before there was ever a coronavirus.
You can see how much I believe her. Okay.
Well,
Sorry, yes, you can jump in.
well, basically, yeah. I mean, you know, I
Did you see that one?
you know, so Johns Hopkins.
Who's he?
No, it's a hospital
Oh.
in. the States. Well, it probably was someone at one stage.
Probably
but
that's why they have this name. So there probably was someone called
when I hear Johns Hopkins, I kind of tend to trust the medical research that comes out of them. It's probably one of the most famous hospitals
Okay, cool.
in the States or whatever.
Cool.
And Dr. Sarita Hill Golden, basically, you know, some of her, she was interviewed and said, you know, she's very high up in Johns Hopkins, and she also was stating, you know, reasons, you know, for the vaccine and stuff like that. And one of the things that she was saying, a lot of these anti-vaxxers argue about like how fast the vaccine was created and blah blah blah. It's like, well, they developed the ability to develop vaccines fast because of this situation.
Correct.
So just because they developed it fast does not mean it hasn't been tested
And vetted, yeah, for sure.
and vetted like that. And they've got processes that allow for these vaccines to be created quickly.
Yeah.
Like if there's an outbreak of something, they need something like straight away.
Yeah.
Because more people are going to die. So, you know, and yeah, so that was one of my bigger points along.
So now, you know what? I will give this lady, Nolene, a slight, okay. Okay. So it is actually known as a vaccine-induced immune thrombocytopenia. That sounded like a whole other language. It's basically called VITT, okay? But it affects just over 10 people in every 1 million.
Okay.
So sure, some, but in the majority of the case, how she's saying that everybody will get blood clots and everybody will die, and okay, well, so, and anyways, and then tremors, there's no proof at all. And I checked up on it. There's no proof that tremors. So there were 2 videos on social media. I think it would have been YouTube or Facebook,
Mm-hmm.
where there were these, you know, 2 separate ladies, you know, filmed having shakes or, you know, tremors,
Right.
or convulsions, and they were like, this is what's happening. It was 2, and and their videos were watched a few million times.
Mm-hmm.
But when the doctors, who treated them were actually spoken to, they were saying that it actually wasn't linked to the vaccine at all.
Right.
The one lady was going through a very high amount of stress, and
Okay.
her body, that was how it released its, that was how her body showed
It was reacting to
reaction
right,
to
okay.
that stress.
Right.
The second one, I can't remember the. I'm sorry, I can't remember the second one at this point. So if you do have Google, then just research it. But basically, they were found that there was other outlying, health problems
Right.
that were the problem that actually happened. That was not the vaccine that made them do it. They actually had underlying is what I meant to say.
All right. Okay.
Underlying health problems that caused that around the same time, but it was not the vaccine.
Okay.
The problem that we're facing is that when videos like that go viral, there are a multitude of people who believe it, who are easily swayed.
Yes.
and then they start to believe that truth.
Yeah.
And then, and then it also gives fire to people like this woman, Nolene, that they can use as their proof.
Right, I get
that
you.
this is
I get you.
these are the reasons why you shouldn't be taking the vaccine, because I've watched a video and it's obviously true.
Right.
It's just a passion with me that people must just not watch a video and say, well, this is true because the person in the video stated as it is truth. Do research.
Yeah.
Don't follow on in panic or fear or like a sheep and just believe everything you're given, because that's the problem.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree with you.
Let's jump in back with
Okay.
good old Nolene.
Bill Gates, who's been running this whole thing from the beginning, he patented the vaccine before there was ever a coronavirus. So he planned this, all right? So now
Did you hear what he said?
Bill
we
Gates
need
is
to
the
protect our children.
harbinger of the
It's always
apocalypse.
Bill Gates or it's like one of those like really rich, mean people who don't do anything for the world. Bill and Melinda Gates are doing huge things for the world, but that's not the point. Okay, we don't.
You know what? I just gotta say,
What?
He just looks a little dodgy.
It's the damn glasses.
It's his freaking glasses, man.
It
I'm
is.
telling you, man. It's like, maybe I'm just jealous that he's really rich.
Yeah. So I just want to again echo. I mean, I had to write it down because it was so hilarious. Okay, Bill Gates is basically running the vaccines from the beginning, and he patented it before there was even a coronavirus. He planned it. How amazing must you be to know ahead of time and to plan for a virus?
And this is the.
This doesn't really mean a whole conversation. It's bullshit. You know that by now.
I know.
Are we gonna have a? I mean, come on.
It's just the problem is that there's so many conspiracy theories.
Yeah, but
running
that's
amok around there.
there's
That's just
conspiracy
one of
theories.
them.
No. There's conspiracy theories,
Yeah.
and there's utter stupidity. Like, how can you? No, seriously. There is conspiracy theory. Here we go. But everybody has a rational brain in them, no matter how much they believe in a conspiracy theory. So you telling me that it's rational to think that Bill Gates saw it coming and created the vaccine and then created the virus? That's a lot of work and a lot of power. How do
Yeah.
you create a virus? Okay, maybe like in a lab. But so he basically made coronavirus so that he could get even richer.
Possibly. I don't know. Maybe. Nah.
No, really, that's just, come on. There are somewhat believable conspiracy theories. And then there's like, fuck, Bill Gates, he made everything. It makes them sound like God.
Yeah. When you got that amount of money, yo.
Wonderful.
Are we continuing?
Of course we are.
We need to protect our children. More children die from flu than the supposed COVID virus, okay? So why are we masking our children? Do you know how damaging that is for a child psychologically and physically to have a mask on all day?
Poor children. So a mask will damage them psychologically.
I think children are a little bit tougher than that,
Yes.
personally.
And a lot of children think that Batman is cool or that Bane was cool, and they wore masks and they were legendary. So
But Batman's mask didn't cover his nose and mouth.
it's actually true.
Bane's did. That's maybe why Bane was so messed up. Batman's mask.
That's actually a very good point.
Thank you.
He doesn't.
Yeah. Exactly. Spider-Man wears a full hood though.
You see
can
now
you imagine
that's
can you,
that's a vaccination, advertisement.
that's why
Be like Spider-Man, wear a mask. Come on. Hey,
Spider-Man wasn't too traumatized.
no.
Well, at least Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man wasn't. We're going to talk about the other Spider-Man, but that's a
The other
different
Spider-Man
topic.
actually was slightly, yeah. So now this is her point. And can I just say that, I mentioned the whole thing of, children under the age of 12. And no child is being forced. I mean, carry on.
Okay, we're breathing in our own carbon dioxide. We are harming our children. For what? There's no danger to the children. Children do not die from this virus, and they've never isolated the virus. They cannot show you the virus. In Canada, they had a court case where the gentleman went to court and said, show me the virus. There is no virus. They're telling you there's a virus so they can inject you with something that they've been planning to inject with us for years. They're planning this. It's depopulation. There's too many people on the planet. Let's give them something that can slowly kill them.
So why are they inject? Why? What's their reasoning behind wanting us to inject us with something?
Even before that, she says, show me the virus. Show me the virus. And someone actually went to court and said, unless you can show me the virus.
I don't know.
And we can go into a whole diatribe of, I can feel the wind, but I can't see the wind. That's a whole nother diatribe. No. So what she's saying, the reasoning why they would then use that as a reason to put the virus in you, which I think hopefully we didn't lose a clip in that.
Okay.
But what she was saying is basically because there was a whole ploy, a whole evil plan, and she calls them they. So they, and the reasoning for her is that it was going to cure overpopulation. It would kill off human beings but basically depopulation.
Yeah.
That's what their devious plan, because there's way too many human beings in the world.
Right.
So we're going to put something in you that will slowly wipe out a portion of people, because obviously that's what people do.
Yeah.
We'll wind up on her soon. I'm enjoying this.
You are, I must say.
Let's give them something that can slowly kill them. It makes you sterile. Countless women have lost their children.
We won't. This is going to be a very quick one. It makes people sterile. She'll also say that it makes women have miscarriages. There's no proof. Where are they going to find the proof?
Yeah.
And how many men? Come on, guys. Guys don't want to talk about their penises and their like what's happening with them. I don't see many men going, guys. I really have to tell the FDA. I really have to tell my doctor that that's that I'm not raising up enough sperm. I kind of don't see that being a lot of men who would come to the or am I wrong?
Yeah, that would only come out once a certain demographic of men start trying.
Because that's how you know if you're sterile or not.
No.
Oh, sorry.
No, dude. No, that actually needs a test by a doctor. So,
yes, Bruce, I know. I'm just
so it would because they would only see a marked increase in a demographic of men.
A demographic.
A demographic of men who are now wanting to procreate and are discovering that they can't.
You're the very clean guy who hides around the borders.
I know, Gareth.
Procreate.
Yes.
They have sex.
Well, when they want to have children, let's put it that way, and
that also comes from sex. Just in case you didn't know, Bruce. Yes. They cannot go hand in hand.
Yes, they do.
Or no, I won't carry on for that one.
Don't you mean more hand in
something
glove?
In something. Hand in the glove. Do you want to explain that, Bruce, to our listeners?
I think our listeners are pretty sussed with what are we talking about.
But my point, Bruce, is even before that.
Yes.
I was just saying, how many men are actually going to go to a research place and say, hey, guys, I'm sterile?
Well, they won't know that they're sterile. That's the thing.
Bruce,
am I just being
yes,
way too literal about
way
this?
Too literal. Yes,
cool.
like wow. Yeah, that was just a bit too much, Bruce.
Okay, cool. I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry, but yeah, you missed the point completely. You were like way over. Anyway, let's carry on.
Women have lost their children, have had miscarriages through the vaccine. People that have been vaccinated are now standing up and saying, nobody else should get it. I'm so sorry I took it. Doctors worldwide are standing up and saying something is wrong here. People are coming into our consultancies with all kinds of weird side effects. We don't know how to treat it. There's no protocol to treat this because it's in their genes now. It's mRNA. It's now making spike proteins in their body. They don't know how to fight it. When they stand up and say something, they're silenced. Why are we silencing the doctors that are coming forward to come against this thing? Why are we silencing people? Why is the media taking down any post? Facebook, if you place anything against coronavirus, anything against vaccinations, they take you down. Why? What are they hiding? Why are we doing this to our children? We need to stand up as South Africans. God gave me an immune system. My immune system can fight anything. If you die from the flu, they tell you it's coronavirus. You die from a heart attack, they'll tell you it's coronavirus. The PCR tests themselves have been proved to be fraudulent. You can test a watermelon, it'll come back positive for COVID.
Okay, I'm done with her. Okay, we're done with this woman. A few things that came up from that. She says, God has given me an immune system that can fight anything. Bruce?
Well, science has shown us that our immune system, there's a couple of things that our immune system cannot fight.
Yes.
But my thoughts around that was that God has also given us a sound, rational mind and education and the ability to be a scientist and create a vaccine.
Exactly. Because I know that he would have seen the virus coming.
Exactly.
Some people have said, you know what, God's not happy with us, so he made the virus and slapped it on us. No. He's not that kind of God. But the point being, yes, he made scientists. He made people because he saw the virus coming. I mean, the virus coming.
Yeah.
Therefore, he's created people with sound minds and education to put in the vaccine, to be wise about it, to make us wear masks and blah, blah, blah. That's a whole other story. And the reason why I just stopped with her, I'm done with her, because she says, that basically whatever sickness you have, they will blame it on coronavirus. I had to read this because I wrote it. She's in this. She went on from that saying, and you know what? And even if you test a watermelon, it's going to come back with COVID.
Yeah,
You're grasping at straws.
Yeah,
that's hilarious. So. That was why, you know what? I just don't want to. I don't want to carry on with her anymore.
Yeah.
Because test a watermelon and it will come back with corona.
Yeah. And I mean, this whole vaccination thing, anti-vaxxer, pro-vaxxer, whatever. One of my biggest concerns is that this is sort of another line along which we're being kind of divided. We're divided along gender lines. We're more divided along racial lines than we ever have been before. It's very scary. Now we bring in this prejudice of are you vaccinated or are you not? And that's going to be a deciding factor is are people going to be in contact with each other? And that's kind of scary. That's just another. Yeah, it's like, well, if you're not vaccinated, I don't want to know you, or that kind of thing, or you're evil. You're evil because you got the vaccine and all that kind of thing. So I'm just a little worried about. I'm worried about how far that sort of prejudice might go. That's all. I'm not there yet with being all doom and gloom about it. I'm just I'm a little concerned.
Yeah. I think it was last weekend. There was a football match here. I think it was midweek actually. it was South Africa versus Ethiopia, our Bafana team, who are actually doing pretty well though. They have jumped another hurdle of a possibility of us actually getting into the World Cup.
Okay.
Not sure if they will, but they're going the right way of doing it. Anyways, it was the first sport in South Africa, the first sporting event
Right.
that, I was going to say human beings, that fans were allowed to go.
Right.
I can't remember the exact amount. I think it was it was a few thousand.
Right. So so it was a limited
Very
number.
limited.
Right. Okay.
But you had to have your vaccine card or a certificate. Yes.
Right.
You were only allowed to get your tickets and to go in the stadium if you had.
Right.
And there was a whole bunch of Ethiopian fans there.
Right.
And they hadn't got the memo or something, and they wanted to come through,
Right.
but they were not allowed to because they didn't have the official vaccination card.
Right.
Now, is that being segregation, or is that the right word?
Prejudiced.
Yes. So now, is that saying that we are prejudiced? We, as in South Africa, whatever. No. The South African Football Association is now prejudiced against Ethiopian fans.
Oh, I wouldn't say. I wouldn't.
Or let's just say fans who don't have the vaccine.
You could see that it would be one of the ways of looking at it is that a lot of people will see that as being prejudiced. It's like, well, and it's like it's taking a step further to going like, okay, well, if you're not don't have your vaccine certificate, you can't come into this restaurant, or you can't come into this grocery store, or something like that. So that's kind of a little bit of a concern, but that's from my side. That's
from my side, it's a health risk. People.
That's also true.
It's not. Okay, I don't feel it is a prejudice. I feel it's a health reason. And if you are sick, then look after yourself. If you are sick, you can choose to okay. If we are going to talk about the vaccine, okay, if you are sick, there are certain ways to get better. If you choose not to take the health needs to make yourself feel better, that is definitely your own choice.
Yeah.
But you're not allowed to be around other people while being sick.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Let me just backtrack, because that kind of makes sense, but it doesn't. If you are not taking something that will allow you to remain healthy, and therefore being healthy around the majority of people around you,
right.
If you are choosing not to take that and to stay healthy, meaning that I will not get sick because you are doing everything you can to remain healthy, to look after me as a person, that is definitely your right. But the health reasons are saying, if you do not want to take any step in making sure you'll not stay healthy, then stay away from people. Because I cannot trust that you will not be sick around me and possibly make me sick. Even if I have the vaccine, you are not immune.
No, you're not.
You will not die from it.
You will still get sick.
You will possibly get sick. And then you go home to your family unbeknowingly because you chose not to get a vaccine. Even if you don't want to see it as a vaccine, I think we should see it as a health reason. Yes, it's a vaccine. But look at it from a health point of view.
Yes.
If you choose to be sick, or not even be sick, if you choose to have the precursor that you may be sick, that's okay. But stay away from people who have chosen to look after themselves and to abide with the health reasons.
Right.
Does that make sense to you?
It does make sense. I can just see that that's also there's going to be so many people on both sides, and that's going to cause quite a few clashes. I think it's because of that whole thing of like freedom of choice, and then there's the the vaccination prejudice and that kind of thing. So it's, oh man, watch this space.
Yeah, I just see it as black and white.
Okay.
I don't.
Right.
No, I don't see it as a freedom of, as in what you're saying. I see it more black and white.
Right.
Either you take the vaccine and you stay safe
Yeah.
and you keep the security of me and my family,
Yeah.
or choose not to, but don't be around me.
Yeah.
Because you will affect not just me, it could have a knock-on effect.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I mean, yeah, you're making some great points. I'm looking at it.
You're seeing both sides.
Like we've established. I tend to see it more
You
as
do.
like an
You do.
overview of everything.
Which is why we work so well at this.
Gaz, final thoughts in wrapping up episode 2.
Episode 2.
Well, I mean, sorry, episode 2 of the filmed.
That's good. Final thoughts on my side. You do make me think about it I don't agree with the anti-vaxxers, but it's how I will deal with it that will not make a whole us and them.
Yeah.
And I don't want to do that. So I don't. So look, I mean, you've heard my passion about it, but after hearing from you, it's like, okay, I don't agree with them at all. But I don't want to make this into a.
You don't want to. Yeah, you.
I don't want to be an us and them, and then it just becomes horrid.
No.
So I'm not going to go fight against anti-vaxxers. I'm just saying I don't agree with you.
Yeah.
These are the reasons why.
That's it.
And if
Yeah.
you haven't got the vaccine, like there's an upcoming election, a
Yes.
local election.
Yes.
I'm not going to go to it. I'm not going to vote. So, because they are allowing people to be in the same queue as me who haven't got the vaccination. Maybe that's a bit too whack. So let me just not go that far. Yeah.
But you are within your rights to make that decision.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go and stand in queue and I'm gonna vote because I
probably will.
I want to vote. I always want to vote.
That's good, Bruce.
And that's my thing.
I probably will, actually, now that you mention it.
But
I think that's a bit too over the top. So let me reverse. See, this is what happens if it becomes too intense.
Exactly.
This is the problem.
Yeah.
So I need to rein myself back, say I don't agree with them, but that's their own issues.
Exactly.
Just don't bring it onto my doorstep. Apart from that, I don't want to make it into an issue. Actually, I don't. But that was good points.
Guys, this has been Spaghetti Junction Podcast, episode 51. Please like, subscribe, comment.
Keep on writing your comments.
Yeah, engage with us to let us know what you think.
Yeah, and actually upcoming, I don't know exactly when we're going to do it, but we actually might be having our first official guest.
Let's hope so. Let's see if
We don't know when or where, but just be aware. We're breaking the mold here. We're getting
looking forward to it. That would be cool. That would be great.
Yeah, so thanks for being part of us.
Awesome. We'll catch you guys in the next one. Thanks so much.
Adios.
Cheers. Bye.
Bye.